In this video, I discuss with John Watt what data you should be considering from different parts of your business to identify new business improvement opportunities to add value to your organization. Have you got any ideas around looking up other databases or other areas of the business to look for improvement opportunities? Have you got any ideas around that?
Yeah, I guess if I take example of a client I'm working with just now,
Mm-hmm.
um, where if you look at the maintenance side of things, the guys in maintenance are getting pressed to get better turnaround time of breakdowns, and so they're starting to trawl through the data in their systems from there. But when we look at the say the training system, we can actually start looking at who's got the right training to be using the different bits of equipment and how
Mm.
experienced they are, and then cross-matching that with, well, that's why we're getting that breakdown, because Bob hasn't been trained on that, and that's the result, and you can start seeing some trends there. You
Yeah,
can
that's an
also,
interesting one where you can see an issue happening. You're
yeah,
thinking it's maintenance, but because a person's poorly trained, they don't actually know what the maintenance is, or um,
yeah, I
they,
mean,
they don't know what they don't know what they don't know.
that's it, and it's things like, we used to see it a lot in operator-led maintenance, where we asked operators to do some really good stuff, and but they're not given enough training to do the stuff well, and then either they don't do it because they think, oh well, I'm not sure, so I'm going to play safe, rightly so, and not do it, and then things start to break down, and invariably when it comes into the maintenance side of things, you start looking at, well, why is that really happening? Come all the way back to understanding the root cause, and it's training. So if you can make sure you tie those things up, that really helps.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good example. So you're
Uh,
suggesting that compliance people maybe look at their maintenance uh, records and also the training records and just review those to look for improvement opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's I guess a similar situation with purchasing, um,
Mhm.
where again you start getting variation in the process that you've got, and as you kind of dig around, you go, well, actually we found out that the widget that we're using um, looks the same as what we were buying, but purchasing have changed it. They're buying it from person X because, hey, we've got a really good deal on it this month, and we got 4,000 widgets for the price of 3,000 widgets, and off we go. And widget 2 is not equal to widget 1, and you get quality problems. Um, and so looking at how we're purchasing and the thinking behind that and the impacts on that can help. So pulling out the data of where we've made some, okay, so we've made some great savings, but if you look at the total cost of that saving that you actually make, when you bring in the rework and you bring in the downtime associated with those things, if there are, then it
Hmm.
9 times out of 10 cancels out the saving that you think you're making.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And what about ERP systems? Do the ERP systems give you sort of ideas that to make improvements? Have you had an experience around any ERP systems and you can analyze different
Yeah,
systems to look for improvement opportunities?
yeah. I mean, one of the challenges with ERP systems still is that the systems themselves are still slightly siloed internally. So you've
Yeah.
still got your finance system, and you've got your
Hmm.
purchasing system, you've got your maintenance system, and your operations system. What's happening now is the business intelligence programs are coming in over the top of them, which is allowing you to do exactly what you're saying. You're starting to be able to pull data from each of those different silos and combine them into one kind of dashboard, which will let you see the trends and drill down into some really useful stuff.
Hmm.
So that's really starting to come to the fore now, and I think that's going to keep going and make a big difference to let you
Yep.
do that sort of stuff where you can pull out goods and was receipting, where we're receipting in products and finding that it's faulty and it's not as good, and you tie that back to the finance system and you see that that supplier also is late in paying bill, and invoicing, and their what they're putting across and the information isn't that good. So you start getting signals to say, well, maybe that
Ah,
supplier's out of control.
Yeah. That's a good
at
point.
both ends. So you can start pulling little bits out of that, but the key is having to go and look for it and being willing to go and look for that thread through the system.
Oh, very good. Okay, well, that's a nice summary there, John. Thank you. Much appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed that, why don't you click on the link here and look for other ideas for making improvements to your business.